What's going on, everybody? C4 here, and welcome to part 3, the finale of the realistic rebuild of the New York Giants. We're in the home stretch. We're going for the final 5 years of the rebuild. Years 10 to 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. We're coming off the tails of a Super Bowl 63 defeat to the Cincinnati Bengals, and we're feeling all types of confused as we did start this series with the idea that, Daniel Jones was named the starter. We won a Super Bowl with Daniel Jones, but his career was eerily following the same path as Eli Manning. And I was like, I'm not going to let, just one Super Bowl, or let's just say Super Bowl success, cloud the fact that he's an average quarterback and we could do better. So unfortunately, moved out from Daniel Jones. It was timely because Daniel Jones in real life got his real start against the Buccaneers, and he was outstanding. But here's where we're working with right now as we enter the final stretch here. I mean, we have a perfect 99 overall quarterback in Trenton Strong out of LSU. He's a superstar. We're still trying to get that X factor, but you just see lots of nines there. Lots of nines. We got Jerry Jeudy, Saquon Barkley, Darius Slayton, Jeff Wilson, Braden Liebrock, top recruit right now, top tight end recruit out of Texas. Evan Ingram still doing his thing. We got Foster. I mean, one of the best offensive lines in football. We drafted 2 X factors, if you don't remember. Still have Will Hernandez doing his thing on the defensive side of the ball. Dex Lawrence is a 99. We drafted this monster. We have Kaiir Elam out of Florida. Peppers is a superstar X factor. He must have just got that. Zimenez, Papo, Parsons, Julian. I mean, it's a great team. We got lots of realistic players, and we're in the home stretch here, trying to win another Super Bowl. We've had a lot of success, but we want to try to just make the Giants the creme de la creme franchise. It's popular. It's a popular tagline here on the channel, but it is true. And we're always going to be trying to compete against Daniel Jones, who is now with the Raiders. And that's going to be, I hope that's a Super Bowl. I hope that's a Super Bowl matchup we get before these final 5 years is up. So as we get into the video, guys, I need to ask for your likes. If you guys enjoy the realistic rebuilds, if you enjoy any content you see on the channel, likes for whatever reason in the last 5 months are paramount to how well a video does, how well my channel does. Before I thought likes were just, hey guys, if you like the video, but it is monumental. So if you guys can like this video and you show your love and support for the series and just the kind of content that I bring, it does go a long way. It does mean a lot. And with that being said, like the video if you like this series and you want it to continue at a later point. This is going to be the final realistic rebuild for a little bit. I feel like it's just not meshing well with the regular rebuilds that we still do, the staple rebuilds that we usually do. So I'm going to go back to just doing the regular rebuilds on Saturdays. And then when those are done, because obviously it has a shelf life, once you're done all 32 teams, we're going to go back to the realistic rebuilds, these 3 by 5-year, 15-year rebuilds. We'll be back if you guys want them back. So judging by the likes, if we can get, like I said, 2,000, that's pretty much what I want to shoot for on all my uploads now, because that's literally like less than 10% of everyone that watches this video. If you hit the like button, that'd be awesome. If we get 2,000, we will continue the realistic rebuilds once we're done the regular rebuilds. So that being said, let's get into the home stretch here of the realistic rebuild of the New York Giants. Awesome. As we enter our first offseason, we are $8 million in the hole, so we have to free up a roster spot. Enough so that it's a clear one. And of course, as soon as Jabril Peppers gets an X factor, there's a younger guy that's a lot better, Simmons out of Miami. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to let Jabril Peppers go, and we'll be able to make the rest of the ends meet because we're only now like $1 million or $2 million over. That is just pretty much cutting. Like, look, we got a bunch of crap off the practice squad. Dropping all that, we'll be able to get under. But starting the final stretch of this rebuild, part 3, very tight against the salary cap. So here we are at the end of the offseason. Very annoying that we're unable to spend any money, but it's pretty much the mantra of the realistic rebuilds. At this point, you realistically want to build your team, you build it through the draft. But if I did have some extra money, you know what I'm going to do? It's what I like to do any weekend. I like to sit down, just watch some football. It's football season. It's the greatest time of the year. Game-winning touchdowns on 2-minute drives, running backs racing down the sidelines with no one to stop them. There's nothing else like the National Football League, and there's no better way to make the games even more exciting than to bet on them. So do the smart thing and go to mybookie.ag. No one gives you more ways to win than they do. MyBookie's got the fastest payouts and better lines than any other sportsbook. Don't forget, where you're betting is just as important as who you are betting on, and mybookie.ag is the best in the business. It's where I play and where you should too. You want to spice things up a little bit? Tired of taking the money lines? Tired of just saying who's playing the Dolphins this week? Try something different. Try a parlay. If all your picks come through, you will multiply your winnings. But no matter how you bet, the NFL season is the best time of year, so do the smart thing, and if you are going to bet this football season, bet with MyBookie. Join now and MyBookie will double your first deposit. Use promo code C4 to activate the offer. That's promo code C4. Visit mybookie.ag today. You play, you win, you get paid. I thank MyBookie for being a sponsor on the channel. Now let's take a look at our draft recap where we had to hit some home runs. It was a solid draft, not an amazing draft. In the first round, we got Cam Grove, cornerback, 70 overall out of Connecticut. Normal dev, not overly great, but it looks like a great athlete if he can develop. Got some solid talent, no good draft. All these guys just basic dev traits. Whiffed here on the guard. You got a nice starting punter, Justin Tracy out of Cal. But the fact that we got all these picks being just normal dev, a little bit underwhelming to start off the finale of the Giants' realistic rebuild here in part 3. We start year 1 of part 3. Here is how our team shapes up. Still one of the best in the National Football League. 94 overall, 99 offense, 93 defense. I mean, we kind of did a quick preview to start the video up. But we have had some regression. Saquon, Jerry Jeudy regressed. Geez, I don't even know where we lost our center in Hansen, but we pretty much only had a 1-point downgrade there. We are seeing a little bit of regression here from Hernandez. On the defensive side, 2-point downgrade from Dex Lawrence. He was a perfect 99. Julian Love regressed a little bit. Micah Parsons regressed a little bit. Clearly, we don't have any more Jabril Peppers with his X factor, but Simmons is more than capable to really take over there and maybe flourish in that position. So we're looking to get back to the Super Bowl, avenge our loss last season against the Cincinnati Bengals, and we're going to go as far as Strong is going to take us. And can he strong arm us to a Super Bowl? Midway point of the first year, and not good at all. Not great results. 3-4. We're only a game back in the division, though, which is pretty much the underlying factor that doesn't make it garbage. Contracts, Johnny Wilson, definitely need him to stay, especially with the drop-off beyond him in terms of production. Elam is still one of our big-time playmakers, even though it's not a very cheap contract. Of course you want more money. Curse, what an asshole. Jordan Newkirk, one of our better, more underrated guys on the defensive side of the ball. So we'll get him locked up. We could replace Hernandez, unfortunately. Parsons is still really nice. It's not a lot of money. Okay, we got him. So we got everyone except Elam back, and he wants that expensive 1-year deal. We'll see how well he plays for the rest of the season. And pretty much worst case Ontario. First year in, trying to make it back to the Super Bowl, and as we have seen, you sniff the Super Bowl, the next year is going to be covered in dog shit, and that is exactly what happened this year. As we went 8-7-1, ties are aplenty. We missed out on winning the division by a tie. Oh, Madden. Never change, Madden. Statistically speaking, Strong was fine. 4,200 yards, 35 touchdowns, 9 picks. Saquon still just killing the game. Didn't have any dominant receiver, but Wilson and Jerry Jeudy combined pretty good. Defensively, Popola the team in tackles. We had 13 sacks from Shaquille Sears, of course. Random guy in a contract year have a dominant season. Awesome. Good picks, Ramsey and Sims. Ramsey definitely stepping up as our #1 corner. Quick look, yearly awards MVP, Carson Beck. Trenton Strong, runner-up. I just feel like he's never going to win that award. I think it's been runner-up 3 times now, 2-3 times, something like that. Just not a great year. Just burn it, act like it never happened. Let's get into year 2. Year 2 offseason, phenomenal. That's a negative numbers are good, right? So after just no money to spend, very much broke, empty pockets, we couldn't give lint to bring some free agents. So we had to have a great draft. And this was a huge pick. 78 overall at pick 18. DeMarcus Dixon out of Kentucky. We needed someone to be able to come in and step up to replace Will Hernandez. And look at this, man. A normal depth trait kind of stings given the fact that we have been able to draft 2 superstar depth trait offensive linemen. But I will take a base starting overall of 78. And he's 23. It's still a very nice pick. 90 pass block power, very good. Almost a scheme fit. Only give me one skill point, we'll make him a scheme fit. That's awesome. Second round, we got Deontay Moon, wide receiver out of South Carolina, 73 with a hidden dev trait, 6'1", 230 with 91 speed. You're getting some Alshon Jeffrey vibes, at least from a build. Third round, we got Monty Joseph from Oklahoma State, 72 hidden dev trait, 6'4", 313, perfect scheme fit, home run pick without a shadow of a doubt. We got a couple 67s here. Did Gordon have a dev trait? No, he didn't. He was a stud, though. He's one of those guys that was like 7th round grade, or 7th round projected with a 2nd round grade, which is huge. And I'm starting to pick up some things here that I can drop on you. Look at this 5th round 71. We got another 70, 65 kicker. I'm not going to. Everyone except this guy was a solid pick. But I can tell you one thing. Not so much first round picks, but anytime you get anyone outside of the first round that has, like when you scout them, a first round talent, they usually 9 times out of 10 are going to have a hidden dev trait. I feel like that's the dead giveaway. Like if you find someone that you have scouted, third, we'll save 2nd round because sometimes there could be some layover. But if you find anyone that's projected to go 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th that you do scout and they end up having like a 1st or 2nd round grade, if they have a 1st round grade, 9 times out of 10, maybe even 10 times out of 10, it means they're going to have a hidden dev trait. And the 9 times out of 10, especially when you get to guys that have 2nd round grades, they will have a hidden dev trait as well. Year 2, looking for some better results. Team's pretty much as dominant as I think we're 2 points overall worse than we were a year before. Saquon, Judy, a year older, but optimism is high. Last year was just a crapshoot of a season, and this year we're gonna take some names. A little bit more underrated. Got some more unknowns on the defensive side of the ball. We got Simpkin. Oh my God, we have a crapshoot at strong free safety. Just noticing that right now at this juncture. We'll make Simpkins the starter, I guess. That makes sense. 76. That's a 9-point upgrade. All right. Hopefully the rest of the defense can go around the weak link or two, and we're gonna do some damage. We're gonna do some damage. Much better results here. Year 2 coming out of a week 8 bye. 6-1 top dogs in the NFC where we belong. Quick look at stats. Like who's off right now? Who's going off? It's not him. It's not Strong. He's still playing top 10, but it's not him. Is it Saquon? Oh, Saquon's hungry. Saquon's hungry. I was looking at the NFL records, and Zeke finally decided to retire. So now it's time to gain some ground. I think with a strong year this year, we definitely can go 2nd for yards, maybe 4th for touchdowns, somewhere in that territory. So we hungry. We coming for it. Hoo-hoo! Let's go. So I'm glad Saquon's playing the best football of the last 2 seasons, we'll call it. Look at contracts. Can we finally move on from somebody? Like we've been re-signing a lot of familiar faces here. Oh, Dex Lawrence. Okay. And we're. Oof. Okay. Well, the good news is that there's only 3 guys I really want to sign. Bad news. Don't come on. We can't let the fullback go, right? He's a GOAT. William Quincy. He's a guy. He's like the best. There's just no way we can pay $10 million to a fullback. And we absolutely need Simmons and maybe not so Douglas. Simmons for sure. All right, we're going to have to move some things around. We got to figure this one out. It's a problem to be solved. Rebound year. We were able to find a way, just, kind of cut some depth guys to get Simmons resigned. Unfortunately, I have to get rid of the fullback. We're going to lose our starting right tackle, or depth tackle, swing tackle. But we are able to lock up the safety. We went 14-2. That's another div title to add to the scorecards here for the Giants. Number 1 seed. I don't sue number 1 seed. Number 1 seed. And just to show you how up and down this game. There's never any shenanigans, but just to be on the up and up. That's just to show you how bipolar the game can be. Didn't even crack the playoffs last year. Didn't go over 500 last year. Then you're 14-2 the next season. Looking at our stats. Strong, solid 4,000 yards, 33 touchdowns, 8 picks. Saquon, phenomenal. Almost 1,900 yards, 18 touchdowns. I mean, let's just pay homage here to Quincy as well. He's been a monster, and there's just no way we can re-sign him. But look, I mean, for fullback, yeah, that's just close to the the rejuvenation of the position as you're gonna find. Guy that has, some nerd alert with a calculator do the fast. That's like what, almost 50 touchdowns. That's huge. Receiving Johnny Wilson, big year, over 1,000 yards finally. It's nice to have a 1,000-yard receiver. Papo led the team in tackles. Parson was good. 8.5 sacks, Jimmy Johnston. We got interceptions were fine. Yearly awards, MVP. Saquon Barkley, let's go. How old is he? He's like 32, 33, and he wins the MVP. That's awesome. Strong, number 7. How old is Saquon actually? It's nice for him to win the MVP award. But how he's 30. Is that like the oldest running back to ever win an MVP at 33? I mean, that's probably something like Jim Brown or something stupid like that. I mean, Jim Brown retired early, but that could be something to look into. But that's awesome. Let's see where Saquon has moved in the NFL records. Has he gone up or down? He's now at number 2 on the rushing list. We did buy the retirement package for a running back. If we get, 2 more years out of him, we could claim that number 1 spot. I don't know if that's going to happen. Fingers crossed. For touchdowns, he's moved into number 3. And if he comes back for 1 more year, we definitely can get number 2. And, really submit him. Hopefully we can catch Zeke in at least one of those categories to open up the debate as to whom the greatest running back in the National Football League history is, at least in this little world. So we are 14-2. We're taking on the 9-7 Green Bay Packers. Am I worried? Not one damn bit. Let's go on a run because Saquon is unstoppable. Oh, great. It's a snow game. I was kind of feeling like I wanted to play this. It's been a day or so since I've actually played some Madden gameplay. But you know the rules. New rule issued into Madden 20. If it's a snow game, no matter what the circumstance, unless it's a Super Bowl, we're not going to play it because snow games are just not fun at all. Hey, do you guys like the randomness that's not random at all and predetermined where your guys slip on the routes? Because I sure don't. So here we go. It's a nice low-scoring battle here. What defense is going to prevail? Touchdown and a 2-point okay, we didn't get it. We're down 2. Okay, we got 2:20. Let's go. Let's let Saquon get on that horse. Yeah, let's go. Defense, step up. Let's go. I assume Saquon got that. Can I get the scoring summary here? Who got that last tutty? Wilson. Nice. Clutch touchdown. 2-point conversion. This is a veteran squad. 333, 3 touchdowns for Strong, 77 yards for Barkley as we are moving to the NFC Championship game. Convenient. Snow game yet again. Didn't know it snowed this much in New York. All right, we got the Chicago Bears. They had Jabril Peppers on their team, so he's looking for some revenge. But the fact that he was showcased in their top 3 players means that their roster definitely isn't as strong as us. Peppers wasn't even the best strong safety on our roster. So, be that as it may, clearly they're the weaker team, as shown here by the fact that they're beating us. Come on. It's the team of destiny. We're playing strong defense. There we go. 4th down in your... Okay. Okay. Buck 39. A field goal can win it. Oh, we'll come in on 4th down. I said I'm never going to do this, but why not? Slants cheese. I can run slants as good as anybody in the business. Why is there a... What does that mean? Question mark? Huh? What does that mean? Has anyone ever seen that? Is that a new update? Oh, Moon! Oh, Moon him! Let's go! Great catch. Great catch on 4th downs. I mean, like I said, I could slant cheese with the best in the biz. Come on, team. That should be enough to get you over that damn hump. Thank you. We're going to the Super Bowl. Thank you. What was that question mark over the guy's head, though? Is that like a new ability I don't know? All right, no snow. It's the Super Bowl. It's early in the rebuild for the Super Bowl, so we'll pop a bear. If things get shenanigan, I will pop in. Other than that, I want this team that's played very well in the sim to this point to be able to go out there, do a job, and get yet another Super Bowl win for this realistic rebuild of the Giants. We're playing very well, 10-point lead. Maybe we can come in here at the tail end of the first half and kind of, I'm not gonna say put this one away because it's the sim. Anything will happen. Why am I getting question marks? This is a new thing. Like, there was just a brand new update that dropped today, and that must be something in the update. Okay. Got super linebacker there just a little bit. Probably should have caught that deflection, but does anyone know what's going on with that? 4th down. Kind of want to come in and make a play here. Might regret this because we're coming in kind of cold. It's a Super Bowl. Let's be aggressive, though. In the spirit of Doug Peterson, a vastly superior coach. Oh, Jerry Jeudy hangs on. Derwin James, a man known for his nightmarish tackles with the fumbles. Jerry Jeudy hangs on. The computer's able to punch that in for a touchdown. This is looking like a Super Bowl victory, my dudes. Let's go. Might have to go hop on to the old... Oh, come on. Why is this happening to close this game out? Might have to go talk to some of the EA guys I know and ask what is going on with the question marks. But there's a Super Bowl. I skipped the thing because I was too excited. And even though that is a number that is very annoying statistically for Patrick Mahomes, 81% completion, 5 touchdowns. Come on, I thought we were a good defense. We still put up 45 points. Saquon, let's just try to guess who got MVP. It probably was strong. Ooh, might have been Saquon Barkley, your league MVP. In my opinion, we'll give him Super Bowl MVP. That's just another one. Another title. Let's keep it going. We got 3 more years. I want at least 1 more Super Bowl. So, best way to celebrate a Super Bowl is to enter the next offseason as we go to year 3. $12 million over the cap. Remember how I said I got it to work at the safety? Apparently not. Jesus Christ. Pretty much have to make 2 tough cuts. I hate getting rid of a real player, but he's the oldest, and we can easily, for example, move Callaway to tackle and have Bates start. He's an 87. So first guy to get the axe is going to be Foster Sorrell, 11-year veteran out of Stanford. That sucks. Then we also need to free up a couple extra milli. Jesus. I mean, Micah Parsons probably. Next guy got to go. Yeah, it stings getting real players, especially when you're this far into a rebuild. But when you're 12 million over cap, you're 12 million over cap. So to follow up an offseason where we had to cut a lot of players, our draft wasn't the best. I don't think I've whiffed this bad in not necessarily a long time, but there was just a lot of misleading picks. Let's just put it that way. I mean, this guy looked pretty good. He was like top 5 in like every stat for a guard, and he's only 69. I mean, that's not a bad pick. We got a 70 overall tackle here, Holt out of Iowa State, 69 corner, whiff on a tight end, 68 corner. But the best pick, we needed a free safety, Jason McDowell out of Washington, 71 with a hidden dev trait. So hopefully this guy has some upside that within the last 3 years of this rebuild can get some meaningful minutes and become a starter for our Giants defense. 3 time to defend the crown. We're still a 99 offense. Defense dip in rating. Still expect them to meet our high level of expectations and standards. Saquon's back for another year to try and break some records, become number 1 all time. Will he do it? I think he needs 2 more years. So hopefully he plays 34 and plays till he's 35. That'd be awesome. Huh? It'd be sick. I don't know the average age running backs retire. But yeah, lots of moving pieces on the defensive side. We got Odom, 75 outside linebacker. That doesn't look very intimidating. Our corners aren't amazing. They're not world beaters. We got a rookie playing free safety, but this offense should be able to carry us at least to another divisional title here in year 3. Right around week 9. Right around. It's week 9. We're 6-1. Started out hot. I mean, like I said, our offense was going to be able to carry the load. It's awesome. I don't know. Let's see where we're at statistically. Is it more so Saquon or is it strong? It's definitely not strong. Who's not off to a great start. But Saquon Barkley, phenomenal again. Contracts. Looking at our contracts, we got a little bit more money this time. I don't think it's going to be as tight as it was in years past. We need Librock back at tight end. We don't really have a backup. Saquon wants a 1-year deal. Hell yes. Come back for 1 more season. Bates, 88-25 starting guard. Yes, sir. Evan Ramsey, been our best corner, even though it's kind of expensive when you start dealing in 1-year deals. We definitely want to try to lock that down. Same goes for Baxter, 3 years, 30. He wants a little bit more money. Hackett, 1-year deal as a tackle. That is totally affordable. Not gonna lie, probably should have offered him more. We have Bagley at middle linebacker. He is a star dev at a BYU. Fairly underrated. Here's where I have a little bit of a gamble in Clayton. I'm going to gamble that we can draft Saquon's replacement this offseason. That's going to be my gamble. We get Saquon back for 1 more year. Let's see if we can get Dex Lawrence back for 1 more year. God damn it. Okay, we'll have to come back to the table with both Librock and Saquon or Dex Lawrence. But in terms of running backs, we'll be able to save a little bit of money there by not giving up $21 million for Clayton. and then we'll make sure we can get definitely Baxter is top priority, and then it goes Librock and then Dex Lawrence. But we should be able to get all three and still have about $7 to $8 million of salary cap. So at least we don't have to cut anyone in the offseason just to make ends meet. The end of year 3. At that first round bye, a record 14 of back-to-back 28 wins over the last 2 seasons. What happened in that first year? We have been nothing like that since. Tread strong, finished the year strong. 3,800 yards, 33 touchdowns, 3 picks. I will take that. Saquon Barkley, almost 1,600 yards and 11 touchdowns. We'll see where that puts him all time. Gonna need at least another year, though, to have a shot. Wilson, nice season out the slot. 73 catches, 940, and 13 touchdowns. Judy's nearing the end of the road here. He's starting to slow down. I mean, that's what happens. No one can outrace Father Time. Bagley, who we were able to hammer out an extension for, 102 tackles, 15 TFLs, 4 sacks. That's huge. 22 and a half sacks for Jameek Johnston. That is insanity. That's gonna put him on the all-time single season list. What? Let's look at this. In a season, let's get sacks. Where's Johnston? Oh, there we go. 1, 2, 4, 6. Tied for 6. Oh, whoa. Tied for 2nd. There we go. We got a couple new names up there. Donald in 2022. Clowney in 2027. Myles Garrett broke the record in 2026. But look at that. 24 sacks. Jesus Christ. But there we go. An outstanding season from Jameek Johnston. He's been a freak. One of the best players we've ever drafted on the channel, period. In terms of yardage, Saquon, was in 2nd place last time. That's gonna be. He's gonna need, 8. It's gonna be tough. I think the yard's gonna be tough from a touchdown standpoint. Definitely doable. Only how many more yards is that actually? 1,200, 1,600, we'll say 1,700 yards to break the record. So, and we're gonna need about 9 touchdowns. So we need 1,709 next year from Saquon to have any chance at, because I don't think we're going to get him for 2 years. If he might even straight up retire next season. But he's been phenomenal. He's been an all-time GOAT, and we are going back after winning the Super Bowl into the playoffs as we await our opponent. And it's again the Green Bay Packers, team that we played last time. Quick look at just who won the MVP real quick. It was Justin Fields. Okay, we definitely got Defensive Player of the Year, right? Jameek Johnston, awesome. Maybe that gets him up to a superstar X Factor because he deserves a 22 sacks. That is freaky. But let's start this playoff push at home against the Packers. All right, not snowing, so that's a win. As both teams start out fairly hot, 7-7 in the first quarter. Come on, get a touchdown. Get the touchdown. There we go. As long as we can be the team. We don't have to score every drive, but if they're settling for field goals and every time we make a drive, we get touchdowns, that'll be great for a little bit of John Madden analysis there. We got a 7-point lead in the second half, and we're marching down the field. That's going to be a tough one for Green Bay to come back from, but we just start to fall asleep here. Manageable. We're only up 7. They're pushing, going down the field, and they get it. Of course, a $142. Oh, come on, and we punt it. Okay, trading punts. Let's go. Let's show that we're the veteran team, the Super Bowl champs, and we kick the field goal enough to get over the line and get back to the NFC Championship game. Strong was fine. 289, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards on the day for Saquon. We're just moving on. It was an ugly win. In the division round, we're getting a little NFC East battle. The Giants and Skins with the Super Bowl on the line. I don't even know where this came from. The Skins weren't that good, which is why they're probably smoking us to start this game out. Jumping in the first half to a 21-7 lead. Can we pull it back just before, which we can, to make it 21-14? We got a lot of momentum now. Let's tie it up here. Oh, we had to settle for a field goal. That's something we haven't yet really done a lot in this rebuild, at least part 3. We've been scoring touchdowns when we're in touchdown scoring scenarios. And, come on. Hey, it's just classic scenario. I mean, we're not going to win all the games, but it's just your classic scenario of like the team that is a lot weaker than the other, just playing a lot better in the sim for whatever reason. As Trevor Burris, who I'm 95% sure is in the CFL, played well. 81% completion percentage. Not going to win a lot of games when your defense plays that. Saquon, hopefully that's not his last game, because that is not a great performance to him to go out on. 11 carries, 33 yards, but our playoff hopes end here. So we got some bad news and some bad news. The bad news is we lost the Super Bowl, and the other bad news is Saquon Barkley decided to retire. Okay. So, here is where we make a needs analysis. Usually, we've been able to draft offensive linemen fairly well. That this guy has been our trade bait. Henry Hackett, 85 overall tackle. I'm going to see if we can flip him and maybe some of the other assets we've been able to just build his depth for a starting running back. We did draft fairly well in the first round anyways. We got a 74 normal linebacker, Ken Shirley. Looks solid, scheme fit. Second round, Randy Gabriel, linebacker of the Army. He was a fourth round projected pick with a first round talent. After scouting him, guess what kind of dev trade he had? Hidden. I meant to actually record it just to prove to you that's what it means, but it is what it is. And anytime you get someone that just has a second round grade, they're always between like a 67 and a 69. And that's what we got here. D tackle Michael Kennedy looks solid. And Lyle Moss, right tackle from OK State, looks fairly good. I'm not going to lie. After that point, I didn't have anyone that looked good. I just simmed out, and the auto sim was garbage. But now it's time. Before we even jump into the season, we got to try to trade for a starting running back here, people. Okay, we found our clear trade target, and it's not who you think. The Buffalo Bills have Livingston, 90 overall running back as a starter. Their backup, Matt Watson, he's 25. Oh, just as an X factor. I was like, okay, let's make this work. Let's make a deal happen. I don't know if they're going to take this straight up. They want a lot more. They want wide receivers. We have wide receivers. We could throw in, honestly, Bagley if they want. Something like that. Does that look good? Oh, this. What if I send them 3 wide receivers that are our depth guys? What about that? Does that work? There you go. Sure, why not? Sure, why not? Okay, now the dust is settled post Saquon Barkley. We got an X Factor running back. We did have to trade all of our depth at wide receiver for him, which isn't not great. And he's not really that overpowered outside of his depth X Factor, but we'll take it. Honestly, we'll take it. The rest of the team looks good. Everything looks solid. We have Jameek Johnson getting his X Factor after coming off a 22 sack season. That's great that he got that ability. He's unstoppable force. I'll tell you right now, to this day, unstoppable force, everyone should know right now, that's like probably the most overpowered ability you can have. I've never played with it. I've never played one damn down with it. So hopefully, you never know. We might be able to control a little bit of defense here as we look to win yet another division, third straight divisional title, but get past the NFC Championship game and back into a Super Bowl. Mid-season 4-2-1, tied with the Dallas Cowboys for the top record in the division. Contracts, what we got? Henry Coleman wants a 2-year deal. Sir, yes, sir. You've been great. Great service member to our interior of our offense. Beyond that, let's see here. Don't care about the punter. Corners, $8 million for a guy that's kind of regressing, but we don't have any depth whatsoever at corner. Okay, great. I'll go pound sand. Jerry Jeudy, I want to at least try to retain some of our veterans, so we'll get him locked up. Can we get Dex Lawrence back on a 1-year deal? We cannot. We'll come back to the table on both Ramsey and Dex, but they don't take our next rebuffed offer. We'll just say we're getting younger. Not gonna lie, thought we weren't gonna do much. Ended up winning the division yet again. So let's write that down. Div title, 11-4-1. A little bit off the pace from what we had, but our team's back up to a 95 overall. So that's looking good, man. Strong, 4,200 yards, 31 touchdowns, 5 picks. Look at our backup, Dwayne Haskins. Just cool, man. Veteran presence. Watson not putting up Saquon numbers, but the fact that we had our tight end who was pretty much filling in for fullback at 10 rushing touchdowns, that's hilarious. Receiving, Wilson 1,100 yards, 7 touchdowns. We got 930 and 11 from Moon. I guess that's what happens when you only have one running back on your roster, but for a team that has valued fullbacks as much as we had, Kinney being, that's pretty much a fullback tight end hybrid. Think Jalen Samuels for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we had some good receiving numbers on the defense, but Poe, great year. 113 tackles, 15 TFLs, 5 sacks, 3 picks. We got 14 sacks, 20 TFLs from Jameek Johnson. Really, I don't know. And he's coming on late in his career. It's still not super late. He's still in his prime, but I mean, the first couple of years, he wasn't putting up numbers like that. So that's awesome that he's peaking right now. We need him to. Jordan Love's your MVP for the Cardinals. Trenton Strong, runner-up. I mean, that wasn't even a great year. He's had way better years and not even been close to stiffing the MVP, so maybe this was his lost chance at getting that award. But we made the playoffs. We got a bye. And how often, it's almost kind of rare to get a first-round bye with an 11-win season. And we kick things off taking on League MVP Jordan Love and the Arizona Cardinals. All right. This is our first game simming without Saquon. Feels weird. I feel naked. I feel like I'm missing something. I don't feel whole. But we have a new superstar X Factor running back. Hopefully, we know when all said and done, he's a $175 and like 3 touchdowns like Saquon. A classic Saquon playoff performance. Is that going to happen? No idea. Hopefully it does. Let's see here. 17-17. You get 3. That's fine. Ooh, we might be able to win this one. We just might be able to squeak this one out here. We got the fourth quarter. We're kicking a lot of field goals, though. They can definitely catch up and gain a lot of ground here if they start getting touchdowns and we keep settling for field goals. But there should be enough. 40 bomb. That's a lackadaisical 40 bomb. We absolutely will take that to send us back into the NFC Championship game. Solid performance. Watson. Let's see what Watson. 114 yards, but how many tutties? 2 touchdowns. There we go. Saquon. Hate me. I miss you, but that's good. Oh, snow game. Cool. 7-0 lead here against the Bears in a snow game. I mean, it just seems like every time we make the playoffs, we're either playing the Packers or the Bears, or the Packers and the Bears. But looking like a fairly competitive matchup here in the snow. Down 3 right now. Maybe we could tie it up at half. Cannot, unfortunately. So it's still down 3 into the second half, where, okay, taking our time, but we're able to equalize. Tied up at 17 apiece here in the third quarter. Chicago gets a go-ahead 2 scores in a row. We're able to get a quick touchdown and keep it within 1 score. And here's probably where the Bears start to pull ahead, because we are just a team made of beta males. God damn it. Dropping 4. It's just hate to see that. You hate to see it. Strong was solid today. 333 touchdowns, losing to Fields, who's still one of the best quarterbacks in the league. He's won multiple MVPs. We still got 1 more year. We got 1 more year to win a Super Bowl. Win another Super Bowl. Win our second Super Bowl of this episode. And oddly enough, the final year is the first year we could actually spend some money in free agency and absolutely no upgrades. Like, look, 99s. It stinks. But we were able to get 2 playmakers. Bring back our punter, Justin Tracy. We got Kenya Marshall, 83 corner. Not a scheme fit, but the closest to a scheme fit. 83 overall. Solid playmaker. Biggest loss to our team is Dex Lawrence retired, and there's just nothing there at nose tackle. So hopefully there's a stud in the draft that we can plug and play. I mean, we could go undersized with Amik Johnston and then sign, Alfano, maybe. Maybe this could be the play. Let's see if we maybe. I think that might be actually our safest bet, our best bet. I mean, it's last year, so we can kind of go all in, give him a freaky offer. Let's do that. Let's get Alfano to be an outside end along with Joseph, and then move Johnston into nose tackle, slightly undersized nose tackle. So we're able to get all of our free agents. Our draft fairly solid across the board here, all in the 60s. We got 65. We got a 69. We got a 68 D tackle, Locklear out of Georgia, 67 wide receiver out of Louisville, and our top pick to get at least someone that's a second running back on the depth chart, Ellis Darius out of New Mexico, 71 overall with some great speed. So here's going to be the final push, the final roster of this rebuild for the Giants, and it might as well, at least on paper, stack up as good as any point this team has been over the past 15 years. Strong 99 overall quarterback. No Saquon Barkley, but we have an X factor. Jerry Jeudy's going to be our third wide receiver. Jeff Wilson kind of become an iconic moon out of nowhere, up to a 91 overall. This guy has been a complete stud. Offensive line still outstanding. Callaway 98, Drayton 99. They've been here for a long time, as has Coleman, who's a 95. That's just freaky O-line. Top to bottom, freaky O-line. Defensively, Johnstone packed on a little power, rounded up his weight to 310 to help him out a little bit. So yeah, you know, realistically, a 310 nose tackle, it could happen. It could happen. Alfano coming in free agency, probably the biggest free agency signing we've had this entire rebuild. Papo's still dynamite, 93 overall. He's been for a long time. Simmons, 93. I remember at the beginning he took over for Jabril Peppers. Haven't looked back there. Our secondary corners overall, I mean, that's still really good. Like, how good has this roster been that this, having an 84, 83, and a 76 is like, that's kind of weak. like pound for pound, if you're comparing this to base rosters, that's probably like a top 10 cornerback duo. So as long as we can get pressure and kind of build like the Eagles, play like the Eagles on defense, where your corners are kind of shit, but everyone else you expect to step up to kind of alleviate the pressure from your corners. That's kind of the best case scenario. But we're gonna need Strong here. It'd be nice for him, who's going down as why is he not a team captain first and foremost? Who's gonna go down as one of the greatest quarterbacks the Giants have ever had? Look at that. Since he's become a starter, he's averaged 33 touchdowns a year, under 10 picks, which is something that Giant fans haven't seen, especially Eli Manning era. Eli, I don't know that number off my head. Feels like he averaged like 15 picks a season. So he's been absolutely unreal. And we're going to need him to really flex his muscles, show off why he's a 99, even though we failed to get an X factor for him, and carry this team to a Super Bowl to close this rebuild out. So to finish out the year, 12-4. How many times have I had to go in and look at this. How many times have we been screwed by teams that get a first, a tie? That's the thing that's really causing us a lot of grief. A first round bye? Really, dude? Really? And statistically speaking, Strong, not his strongest season. 3,600 yards, 28 touchdowns, 4 picks. Our rushing attack was pretty filthy, though. Watson, 1,100 yards, 11 touchdowns, 509 from the rookie out of New Mexico, 406 from Trenton Strong. On the receiving standpoint, Moon was our top receiver. Wilson has been really, really good. Shout out to Jerry Jeudy. Been here pretty much the entire rebuild. Up to 35 right now. I mean, the numbers, the numbers show you what's wrong when it comes to elite wide receiver sim stats. He's been 95 plus for almost all those seasons. X factor for almost all those seasons. Yet those are the kind of numbers he puts up in the sim. They're not bad, but those for the most part are like average wide receiver 1 to good wide receiver 2 type numbers, when he should be top 5 wide receiver in the league. So there's as much proof as you need to see that elite wide receivers just aren't great in the sim for whatever reason, unless you're trying to cheese it and go like Patriots playbook or Saints playbook. For the standard playbook, like the playbook that 85% of teams will have in a Madden sim, good wide receivers just don't put up nice numbers. Popo, another guy, has been a staple of this rebuild. Johnston, staple of this rebuild. Looking at Johnston, what are we at here for stats? I mean, we'll get a final quick recap, but I mean, he's been outstanding, playing everywhere on the defensive line for us. Popo, since we drafted him, he's been a monster, averaging easily, we'll probably say 105 tackles a year, tackle machine. We'll see where his numbers all stack up. But look at that, later in his career, just becoming more of a technician, being able to drop back into coverage. I like to see it. Yearly awards MVP, Justin Fields. We would like to get maybe a chance at revenge, as he was the guy that knocked us out of the playoffs last year. Looking at some of the career stats here for our team, though, Trenton Strong, 37,000 passing yards, 312 touchdowns, 58 picks. I mean, might not be as many numbers as Eli Manning, but I think from a production standpoint, the most productive quarterback the Giants have ever had. Look at that. Plus, the rushing numbers are very good. Underrated. From a receiving standpoint, Jerry Jeudy finishes with 900 receptions, almost 11,000 yards, 85 touchdowns. Johnny Wilson, who hasn't spent his whole career with us, but most of it, also really, really good. But I think Jerry Jeudy's going to go down. Maybe the greatest Giants wide receiver ever. That could be a little bit of a stretch. There's been a lot of greats. But I'd probably hedge a bet top 5. You'd probably put top 5. I mean, I'm not in the super. I mean, there's probably some wide receivers that I'm missing on top of my head from like the 70s, 60s, and 80s or something like that. But I mean, Amani Toomer, you got Odell. I think Judy's right there. Defensively, Popo, 1,200 tackles, 90 TFLs, 50 sacks. We get 111 sacks from Jameek Johnston, 110 TFLs. From a pick standpoint, 14 picks from. I mean, awesome, man. You're seeing some of the all-time franchise greats here. Popo at linebacker, Johnston at defensive line, and Giants have a rich history of talented defensive linemen. But let's go, man. Let's get into the playoffs. Let's go on that Super Bowl run. We'll pop a bear the whole way, unless it's a snow game, and we'll play the Super Bowl if it comes to fruition. Okay, not a snow game here in the divisional round against the Atlanta Falcons, so feeling mildly confident that if we do have to interject, it's not going to be some nonsense. But I like to see this team get at least into the championship game before I need to interject. They should know. We'll come in the red zone here. Well, this will be our one little interjection because I feel like scoring on this drive is kind of paramount. But let the sim know. Let the sim know that if you're gonna play with me, dog, you're gonna get some hands. And we're gonna go Jeff Wilson on the 1. We already have 2 picks in the first half from Strong, acting like he's never been in the playoffs before. Well, let's go C4 Let's see what this running backs that we brought in. Watson, this superstar X Factor with the hammer. I don't know what it is. I think it's a stiff arm. Didn't have to use it that time, but they knew. That jab, that Mike Tyson-like uppercut was coming if someone got in my face. So we tied up at 7 apiece here. Get a light field. Oh, there we go. 2 quick scores. All right, we're front runners. See if we can front run this over the line. Up 6. Now into the 4th quarter. Oh, they're going to get a touchdown and be up 1. We go down the field, get a touchdown, but miss a 2-point conversion. I don't know why necessarily we go for that, but I mean, it makes sense. Okay, you're going to make me come in and try to save the game. All right, down 3. 2-minute warning. 4th quarter. We're at the, whatever their stupid stadium's called, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I don't know, is that what it's called? That's where Atlanta FC plays. I feel like more people go there to watch Atlanta FC than they do Falcons games. So let's go here. 4th and 15. Let's just throw it up to our, oh, it's a garbage pass. I mean, not actually that bad of a pass. It just needed a little bit of a finesse touch to get it over the DB. I don't know how many picks that is for our quarterback on the game. If our defense can somehow bail us out with a field goal attempt, that'd be great. They do not. We're down 10. Can we get a touch? Can we get... Yeah, they're going to get it. Oh, no, they're going to get it. Damn it. Well, how fitting. I mean, my 99 overall quarterback in his final performance puts up the worst sim performance I've seen him put up. 3 touchdowns, 2 picks came from the computer. I mean, things just didn't feel the same since Saquon Barkley retired. Moon, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns. We got 100 yards and a touchdown. Johnny Wilson. Jerry Jeudy just wasn't the same old Jerry Jeudy. Wasn't the same old Jerry Jeudy. Newkirk got 2 sacks. We got a pick from Popo. It's not the way you want to end it. It's not the way you want to end it. I mean, to give something of value, I guess we could go back to the final. I don't know. See where the quarterback stacks up. See where Jerry Jeudy stacks up all time for the Giants. Let's give us something of value here to end this one. Very annoying. I mean, we did get 3 divisional titles and a Super Bowl win. Would have been nice though to get some gameplay of a Super Bowl. But you know, doesn't always go the way you want. Sometimes your 99 overall quarterback just plays horrifically. So our 96 overall team with a 99 overall quarterback couldn't get it done. Even though this year we look weird. I mean, that's a weird stat line for him to even have. But look at how his career stats, like I said, I want to see how it stacks up. Definitely behind Eli Manning in a lot of categories, especially games. But Eli Manning finished with 56,000 passing yards, 360 touchdowns to 240 pick. Oh, that's garbage. But Trenton Strong would come in second, just ahead of Phil Simms. Phil Simms had 33,000, so it'd be, from a yard standpoint, the second most passing yards in Giants history. Is 312 to Eli's 360. Eli played, 5 more years. So he definitely would have finished all time, unless some injury happened, as the greatest quarterback the Giants have ever had. But at least for right now, he's number 2. For receiving, to look it up, literally, I was right. I took a shot in the dark saying Amani Toomer and Odell, probably the top 2. I knew there's some old people like Frank Gifford or who's this guy, Homer Jones. Never heard of that guy. But Amani Toomer was the all-time leading receiver for the Giants with 668 receptions. We'll say 9,500 yards and 54 touchdowns. Crushed that with Jerry Jeudy. So he's first all-time receptions, well and away first all-time in receiving yards, and well and away first all-time in receiving touchdowns. And then finish it up on the defensive side of the ball. And then finish on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, how accurate are these numbers? But it looks like Michael Strahan actually has the most tackles in Giants history. I would have thought it would have been Carl Banks. But it looks like Strahan has about 800 total tackles. So a Popo, all-time tackles leader. For sacks, Johnstone's 111 would come, looks like, second all-time. Puts him ahead of O.C. Muir at 75. JPP at almost 60. Justin Tuck, 60. 63 for Keith Hamilton. Obviously behind Michael Strahan. Michael Strahan had 141 total sacks, but Jameek Johnstone becoming the second greatest sack specialist, and in my opinion, a lot more versatile than what Michael Strahan was for the Giants. So some all-time greats, a bunch of Super Bowls. I think we had 3 total Super Bowls in this rebuild, a bunch of divisional titles. Ultimately, very, very successful, even though it ended not the way we planned it. So I hope you guys did enjoy the final realistic rebuild for just a little bit. Like I said, if you guys really like this series, I will judge it by, the 2,000 likes that we set the goal for, that I will bring it back once we're done the regular rebuilds for all 32 teams. So that, more so that'd probably be, late winter, early spring, like, once we get to that little bit of a slow period before Madden 21 hype starts kicking up, we'll bring them back, and we should have enough time to be able to do, these 3 5-year rebuilds for the rest of the teams. I mean, how many we've done so far? 4 or 5. So, it's definitely feasible, and I do enjoy doing it. It's just, the fact that, it's kind, I feel like it's affecting the visibility, we'll say, of the main rebuilds that we do on the weekend. It's also it's really, really hard to do 3, 4, if you're counting the other one, 4 50-minute to an hour videos a week. It's really affecting my upload. That's all you may notice. Sometimes videos get uploaded fairly weirdly. Like, for example, today, usually I like to have 2 or 3 videos uploaded ahead of time, so I have that buffer. Today, this video is getting recorded. I've been working on it all morning, and it's going to have to take forever to render because it's super long. So, going back to at least dropping this for the time being is definitely going to help out my upload schedule and getting up on my uploads. And the fact that with pink slips, the hype around pink slips, I'm going to have to start streaming. It's going to be less time to dedicate to it, but it will return, like I said, if we can hit that 2,000 likes on the video. Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, it's C4 saying subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.
I'm spending, I'm out and I'm shopping. You talking that shit, well, you talking and talking. Look at my options, look at me dropping. Asking the game like, who are you stopping? Not me, not me, not never. Not me, not me, not never. Not me, not me, not never. I'm way too clever. Look at the kid, Mr. Consistent, I'm doing